Hello everybody, Reggie Time here with a few hands I've played over the last few days following the previous video I made last week. There's not too many hands today, then at the end of it we're just going to look at how we've done for the month overall. It's not quite the end of the month, but it's close enough. Reflect on what's gone well, what's gone badly, and then just quickly say about what we're going to try and hopefully achieve in February. Don't forget to hit like, comment if you must. Sorry, not comment if you must. Comment if you would, please. If you don't want to, not much I can do about it. And yeah, let's get straight into the poker chat. This last Sunday, I went down to my friend's house, actual real life friend. He's been playing poker just about as long as I have. Nowhere near as much volume as me because he's got an actual life, unlike me. He's got an actual job, unlike me. He's a very, very intelligent man. He's a fucking nerd of the highest order. Basically, I shouldn't like him. He should make me sick. He's got brilliant, superbly well-paid job. He's very clever. He's a nerd. He's got a beautiful partner. He's got a fucking son who's 4, proper good young lad who's bilingual. Like, fuck off, mate. Is there anything fucking wrong with you? I shouldn't like him, but he's a fucking good lad. And anyway, I went down his house on Sunday and he took me into his like little poker office, and I haven't been in his house since before COVID. So I wasn't really aware of what his grind setup looked like. Back in the day, he used to just grind off his laptop. He had the 3-monitor setup going, this, that, and the other. And he had a program on there. I think it was Hand to Note, but it could have been something else. He'd need to remind me. If he ever watches this, if you'd watch this, Johnny, comment below what was the program. It was some program where he'd uploaded God knows how many hundreds of thousands of hands to it, and it showed all the different nodes imaginable where players were under bluffing, when they were over bluffing, when they were calling too wide, when they were over folding, etc. It was ridiculously interesting. We barely scratched the surface of it, but I came away with a few things that I know I should be doing that I've never really done that much because I wasn't certain, and I came away with a few things that just like confirmed a few population beliefs that I had, and then a couple of new ones that I wasn't really aware of. So since Sunday, I've been grinding will be the wrong word because I've only played 4 hours, but I've been playing with like a slightly new rule book, and it's been good. I've been enjoying it. So all these hands have been played since I updated my rule book. So hopefully we'll discuss it when we're discussing these hands. I'll be looking at them with a slightly new perspective than I would have looked at them in previous videos. So that's the precursor. Let's just get on with the hands. Here we have a limper. We have another limper. Well, this guy here it's hard to explain what he is. You can see his stats. 31-24-A. He's got kind of similar-ish race stats. Basically, he's an aggro fish, but not. Is he an aggro fish? I'd say bad aggro reg. He's shit. There's no denying that. The lad is shit. I mean, look at his win rate. He's playing in games where, and maybe this isn't his true win rate, but he's playing in games where we have 75-25, 67 zeros, and on the sample I have on him, he loses at 18 picks 100. Is he losing at that really? Probably not. Is my sample biased because obviously when he's at tables with me and other regs, everyone's win rate looks a bit lower? Maybe, but there are other regs who have got bigger samples on who have good win rates. So maybe he is just shit. Maybe he's just losing. I don't know. But one thing for certain, he's not good. He's ISO in here to 5 bigs versus 2 opponents, which is probably reasonable. I think he should probably go a little bit bigger if he truly wants to isolate just one player. I don't think this will work. typically against these two, he's just going to get call a lot. It might even get called from the big blind too. So I think if he wants to ISO here versus two opponents, he should make it larger, but that's by the by. Anyway, we 3-bet to this size, and I think this is too small. It's a bit weird it's gone limp, 5 big blind ISO, because we probably want to make this 20 to 22. But this isn't a hand that a 3-bet calling off. It's almost like we're making a small 4-bet. I kind of knew I should squeeze this to bigger. I knew this should have been like 20 blinds, 22 blinds, but for some reason I just dialed it back to 17 blinds. Probably, well, frankly, because I didn't want to make it 22 and fold. I'm happy to make it 17 and fold. I didn't want to make it 22 and fold. Bit shit from me, but there you go. No one's perfect. Anyway, our friend calls. We get the Jack 7-5 flop, 2 overs, backdoor everything. So I think we probably have a C-bet here. We don't have to go particularly big either. He's going to have probably some. I doubt. Does he ever over limp? Don't think this player will have too many. Too many overlimps in range. It's hard to see there. Limp with previous limpers, 3%. Range with previous limpers. I know he doesn't have many limps here. So he probably does have like deuces, 3s, 4s, obviously 5s, 6s, 7s, 8s, etc. So you're going to have some small medium pairs probably in this range. It's going to have lots of hands in this range here. It's going to be pretty wide, like 10-9s, queen 10s, all that sort of things. A pretty fucking wide range, by the way. I think we could just see bet small here and then see what happens. I go with that, whatever. Probably preferred to see it a little bit smaller. But that's just my 40% button, I guess. But probably would have preferred to see a bit smaller, especially since we made it so big pre. I think in hindsight, I'd like to have seen myself go maybe just 10 blinds there, maybe like quarter pot-ish. But anyway, it is what it is. We go that size. He calls. Turn, complete break. We do not pick up any equity. We don't pick up any fold equity on that card. You wouldn't imagine. So it's probably reasonable just to shut it down here. We do check. He checks back. River 3. So Villain's range looks a lot like pocket pairs, maybe some half decent ace highs like ace queen. Basically, he's pretty capped to decent ace highs and 1 pairs. Question is, does he fold them to a double barrel here? Would I? And the second question for me is, would I ever have like over pairs in range here, Jack X, over pairs, etc.? And the third question is, would he think I have them? Then we have king high, so I guess we're going to have to bluff this one. But what size? If I retain hands like aces, kings, and what have you in this range, queens, I think we could just jam. My question is, do I retain them? And I don't think I do, to be honest. I think on the turn, aces, kings, queens, etc., I'm probably just betting 1/3 to set up like a really easy river shove. Doesn't mean he doesn't know that. Doesn't mean he knows that, by the way. And this is a spot where, before I went to my friends on Sunday, and I might be misapplying what I think I've learned here, I would not have bluffed this river. I'd have been like, right, okay, well, I don't rep very much. He's going to have an easy call with like all these bluff catches, etc. But we know from mass data that all player types overfold rivers. It's just how it is. It's just factual. Whether this exact node or not, I don't know. Whether this is overfolded, I don't know. I'm looking forward to getting the program on the computer myself, so I can study these things going forward. Whether this exact node, 3-bet pot, bet, check, bet, is overfolded, in brilliant shoes. I don't know, but I decided to bluff anyway. With this size, I think all in should have been my size. I think I've copped out here. I think this is a badly played hand from me, to be honest. Really badly played hand. I think if we are going to bet here, we just want to be all in. If I'm betting, if I do retain the aces, kings, queens, etc., Jack X, then they're just going to be all in, aren't they? This is bad from me. So a very badly played hand. We got snapped off, and I deserve to be snapped off because I just took a really bad line. And he called us with ace king. And maybe if we shove that river, maybe we win the pot. Who knows? But that's just a really badly played hand from me. But we don't hide on this channel. If I play a hand badly and it's reviewable, then it gets reviewed. And that's that. Next hand, 2 kings, middle position. 1 caller. 6, 2, 8. We have a 1 big blind donk. Dude has a 35% donk bet frequency over a small sample. Just raise. By the way, just remember, these all aren't all meant to be strategical videos necessarily, where they're all mind-bendingly tough spots. This is just like a vlog post where we just review the fun or interesting hands from last session. Sometimes, like the last hand, I can try and discuss my theory in a bit of detail, and then there's going to be other hands where we just get an 82-7 donking 1 blind into us, and we're just going to be basically raising and trying to build a big pot. So I doubt this hand's going to have too much mind-blowing strategical insight from yours truly, but you never know, we'll see. He donks 1 big blind, we should just raise always. Probably have to see myself raise to, what would I do? I'd probably click my 70% button here. If we call, that's going to put 8 blinds in the pot. 70% of 8 is like 56. So it's not like 5.6 or 6.6 blinds. 6.3. He calls. Turn 8. That's not ideal, but we're up against 82-7, so we're not too distressed about it. He now donks for 10 big blinds. I don't think we can raise anymore, but we certainly can't fold. He can still be doing this with some 6x, some deuce x, some 5-7, some 9-7, some 10-9, some 10-7. Who knows what else, because, well, moron. So we can't call, but I think it's probably too thin to raise on the repeat 8. We do call. River 5, he bets 20 bigs. We just have a call and we just get on with that, eh? And we'll have Queen 8. Good for him. Or her. Well, probably him. King, Queen off. We raise to 3 big blinds. Fish calls in the big off 28 bigs. Mandatory C bet, I guess. Which we make. Well, not mandatory, but I mean, out of position on a monotone flop, normally we're not going to want to start building too many pots. Blind versus blind, but I guess it's 73-0. I just do. We just want to try and build the pot before any real board changes come. Like that one. I guess we have to slow it down. Now, even though we improved to 2 pair, might still have the best hand. Guess we have to slow down. Check, check. River 9. So now we have 4 to a straight on board. We don't have a straight. We have 4 to a flush. We don't have a flush. But I think in this node, based on what I remember from my chat with Johnny on Sunday, in this line, we're pretty much just bet everything on the river, like bluffs, value the lot, just bet the lot for a small size. Obviously exploitatively against this player, if I did have a straight or a flush, especially a flush, that the node are indifferent. So it's unlikely I'm going to have flushes here in this line. Yeah, in fact, I'm just not going to have flushes here in this line against this villain type. So I guess top of my range here is going to be a straight, and I would bet a straight for a big size. I think betting hands like 2 pairs, I'm probably just going to pop it in the 40%, 4 to a raise. Yeah, it's thin, but I think it beats check folding. or check calling. So we do go with the 40%. He calls, and we win against that. We win against that. Yeah, didn't 3-bet the ace king pre suited off a 30 big blind stack. Poker in some places is not dead. If I just click the right button, there's this. Nope, it's a different hand. Look like I thought it was the same hand for a moment. I thought I just refreshed the hand. Anyway, same villain. Probably not very long after that one. We flopped top pair. Just bet again, Reg. We actually go with the overbet this time. Maybe just this is to do with the stack size more than anything else. This isn't a board that we should be overbetting, I wouldn't imagine. But top pair, good kicker, good shot against someone with 17 bigs. I don't even know why this hand's made it in, to be honest. No idea why this hand made it in. Right, okay, whatever. Don't know why that one's made it in. Yeah, we don't love it when the ace comes on the turn, but we can't fall for the price that we're getting and his big blinds, whatever. Don't know why that one made it in. That's probably just a misclick on my hand review. But evidence that I don't look at all the hands beforehand again to remind myself what happened and try and look like a smart ass, because that one would not have made the video had I had that mentality, or that was the way I made my videos. Open Queen 10 off on the button. Call. What a surprise! The 85 and the 75 VPip both call. I actually think I should probably just have a bigger size in this situation pre from the button. When we got an 85 and a 75 VPip in the blinds, I think this 2.5x can be improved upon. I think we can go 3.5x, then we can go 4x, maybe slightly narrower ranges, and just be 4x opening. I don't know. Tell me what you think. Genuinely, please. I know I asked for comments, but this is a relatively common scenario in the games I play. What's your raise size? What's your button strategy when you've got players like this in the blinds? Are you still just sticking to your 2.5x with your normal ranges? Are you sticking to your normal ranges but making it 3.5x or 4x? Are you narrowing your ranges and making it 4x or even 5x? I think we have a load of strategical options open to us here. And I think this is a bog standard 2.5x open with range, whilst being completely fine, can maybe be improved upon. So if you were faced with this scenario where you get two players in the blinds, one 85 VPip, one 75 VPip, would you stick with your bog standard 2.5x open the normal range, or would you adjust in some way? And if so, which way would you adjust? Anyways, on to the rest of the hand. We flop ourselves a top pair. Dunked into for one big blind. Call. The guy's got 36 bigs, and the caller probably doesn't have a hand, or doesn't have much of a hand. I think we can raise here and try to play for villain 14 stack, which is what I'd like to see myself do. Don't have to raise too big. I can see myself just hitting my 40% button here, which would be, we call, that's 10 blinds in the middle. I could see us making this about 5 blinds, 5.4 blinds, something like that. Yeah, I actually went for the big one. I went for my 70% button, which again, can't be bad. We get min 3-bet by this guy. He calls, we're just all in now, aren't we? If the guy's got us. We don't play poker to fold top pair good kicker against an 85 VPipper who started the hand with 40 blinds. It's not what we're here for. So we're all in. Said that we actually weren't quite all in. We put the extra 0.05 big blinds in, and we run it out. And our friend had the queen deuce off. And we move on to the next hand. Same table again by the looks of things. This dude's limping in. He does a lot of limping, as we can tell. He limps and calls only 37%. That's relatively low for these games. That's usually way over 50%, this limp and call raise. This dude then ISOs. We 3-bet to 10 bigs. I think we could probably go a little bit bigger than this. We should probably go maybe 11 or even 12, given that this guy's already in for a limp. Who knows? Anyway, we get the cold call out of the Queen Deuce off guy. And we flop a big pile of bear. He donks one big blind. We presume we're just all in here. And we don't expect him to fold a piece. If he's got a 3 or a 4, we do not expect him to fold. We probably don't have a lot of fold equity here, but we might just have the best hand. And on top of that, if we don't, we just probably are 2 overs alive. Yeah, not too much to say, so probably just put it in. Which we do, he calls, we run it out. And our friend had Queen Deuce again. Evidently, he's a big fan of the Queen and the Deuce. Next hand, Ace Jack suited. 32/8 open limps the button. Whale makes up the small blind. We ISO to 9 bigs. Call. Fold. Flop a pair and a flush draw. We c-bet. I guess we could do a lot of things here. We could c-bet, we could check call, we could check raise. I went with c-bet this time. He min raises. No, he doesn't min raise, he raises. And this is the first in a series of 3 hands against this guy. Where we played 3 pots in where he raises me on the flop. This was the first one, so I was less sure of what his strategy was for flop raises right now. We could just jam here, or 3-bet. We could reopen the bet in. We could jam. We could 3-bet small. We can just call. I don't think it really matters what we do very much. The EV are all going to be similar enough, I would imagine. We go with the call. Turn break. We check. He bets our pot, so it's unlikely he's bluffing here. I mean, we block the most natural of bluffs, which is a nut flush draw. But he might just have a worse ace-x. He might be randomly bluffing something else. Who knows? Clearly, we're not folding. I think jamming would be overplaying our hand. Calling. River, we river the nut flush. Or the board's paired. I'd considered donking here. We've got like less than half pot left. I considered donk jamming. But he had this stat of bet river percent 64%, and he hasn't won yet once when he's bet the river. So this tells me this guy does either have bluffs on the river and or value bets thinly. So I just decided to check to him, let him fire the rest off. But I think in hindsight, maybe jamming would have been better if he's got a flush, he's betting it. My only fear is here that he checks back a hand like Ace King or Ace Queen, and if you say he doesn't have that reg, he does. Look at his pre-flop raise first in by position. He just does have Ace King here. But does he have it pure? Not sure. Does he have it close to pure? Yes. Ace Queen will be another hand that he can have. So I wasn't sure if I should have just jammed here or not. I think in hindsight, I'm probably happy with. I don't know. I don't know. Jamming can't be terrible. Checking, I think jamming is probably better than checking, to be honest, given this guy can have a lot of ace-x that's now going to want to check back. So I actually think jamming would be better. But I maybe didn't know this much about him at the time of the hand. Anyway, wrong hand. Click the wrong button. Sorry, boys and girls. Get back to here. So yeah, we check the river. He checks back, unfortunately. And he had the ace check off. We definitely get paid if we shoot that river from this opponent. Or at least I think we get paid. But never mind. Next hand, ace 10. We get a 55/9 opening. I elected to go with the small 3-bet here just to try, and I didn't want to call. But I wasn't super thrilled 3-betting somebody playing 55/9 because when they've got such a big gap between their VP and PFR, it tends to suggest that this range is going to be quite narrow and quite strong. So I 3-bet small in position versus a whale, just to try and get the pot heads up, probably fall into a 4-bet unless he makes it too small. 2 callers. Flop ourselves a top pair. Duke just donks into us for full pot. Folds. There's no way I'm folding to this guy at any point. Doesn't matter what the run out is. He's 81-35. He's just too aggro. He's got these bet percentages post flop off a 81 VPIP. He's just way out of line in every single fucking way. And no way I'm folding to him. Don't really see the point in raising. Doesn't matter what the turn is. If he goes all in, we call. That's all there is to it. Nothing else to be said. So we do call. Turn is one of the bad ones. It's a diamond. It completes some 2 pairs. It completes some straights that he might have. It's probably one of the worst turn cards we could have seen. He goes all in. There's no way I'm folding. Not against this guy. We snap him off. River 7. How do we ever win this one? And we win it because he's got Queen 9 offsuit. That's how we win it, and that's why we don't raise this guy on the flop, and that's why we don't fold him on the turn, because he's a fucking lunatic. 2 jacks. As the second hand against a player we had the ace jack against with his nonsense style. He calls out the big blind. Check. We bet. Could go a bigger size here. This is fine. Could go bigger. Now, don't really care too much about flop sizings. Just see bet in it. Don't matter. He goes with a raise again. Now we know he's capable of like raising with just top pair, because we saw that in the previous time when he limped the button with the ace jack and then raised top pair. So I think we have more options. Once we know someone has a top pair raising their locker, it opens ourselves up to having 3-bet options if we want them. We don't have to here. We can just call and let him like blast off with his top pair. But we do have the option to 3-bet here if he is raising hands like top pair. I did go with the 3-bet all in. He calls. And he did indeed just have top pair. And I thought I played 3 hands against him, but this guy didn't reload. So maybe we only played 2 against him. Maybe I observed him raising top pair against other people too. Or maybe one of the hands just didn't make the cut because the pot was too small. But yeah, it's just a good example of when if you're paying attention to your villains, and I get that's a lot easier to do when you are just 3 and 4 tabling reg tables rather than when you're playing speed poker, etc., which many of you guys will be. And you pay attention to how they're playing, you can just do things that aren't a thing. This shouldn't really be a thing. Like just reopening the betting with pocket jacks here against check raise. Conventional wisdom would be just call a raise, keep the bluffs in, etc., etc., etc. But when you know people are just probably stacking off with top pair, then there's absolutely no reason to slow play. On to the next hand, Queen Jack offsuit. This is going to be the last hand too. Open 2.5 bigs, call button whale, call reg. Oh yeah, this one's a doozy. This one is a doozy of a hand. A good hand to end the video on. So we flop top pair. We've got 2 absolute whales and a reg. This reg is decent in my opinion. Statistically, there's flaws, but we're all flawed. But if we look at his win rate, he wins at 9 bigs. Big sample, 17,000 hands, wins at 9 bigs. Just decent winner in the games. Do I think he's a sicko? No. Do I think he knows what he's doing and how to operate in these games? Clearly he does. His win rate tells us clearly he knows what he's doing in these games. Check. We bet. Multiway pot, betting a bit smaller. Don't think I should maybe be doing that with a vulnerable hand with 2 pretty big whales in the pot, but that's what I did. We don't think we can fault it, but I think we can maybe do a bit better. Call. So everyone calls. Marvellous. We get the queen that doesn't complete the flush on the turn. Obviously, really, really good card for us. Check. Bet full pot because whale. And I don't think this guy's going to have a hand ready often. I think if he has that type of hand and wood right here, which is a set of 4s or a set of 5s, I think we hear from him on the flop. nearly all the time with 2 wheels in the pot on a flush draw board. I suspect many players don't have the discipline to check call. Maybe they shouldn't even check call. Maybe they should just be check raising with 2 wheels in the pot for pure value, like super clean value with sets. So I thought this guy was pretty much out of the hand, and I was just playing against these two. And I was not super thrilled to play per stacks this deep against this guy, but I would have done. But I would have absolutely been happy to play per stacks against this guy. Anyway, he calls. Now he's all in. This guy folds. What the fuck now? We need 30% equity to continue here, and our man's repping sets. It's arguable he could also have like King 10 of spades, Ace 10 of spades, 10 9 of spades maybe. All those hands exist, given we only bet 4 blinds on the flop. He could also maybe have some diamond draws, but I suspect if he is raising draws, he's just raising them when his equity is the highest. So I think if he wanted to raise diamonds, he might have raised them on the flop, but because we bet small, maybe he decided just to call. So maybe he can also have all those hands that we just mentioned, he could have them in. Diamonds 2, King 10 diamonds, 10 9 diamonds, Ace 10 diamonds. Maybe he still retains some of them. I don't know. That's pretty much what happened when this pressure was put on me. My ass just fell out basically like it did then. And I thought this was tough. So I found out something new last night that I didn't know. We went to this turn check raise, and it's there at 6%. And note also he has a raised C-bet on the turn of 17%. That's just his overall raised C-bet, 17%. So I thought, right, he's only check raising 6%. It's really narrow range. It probably means he isn't check raising combo draws very often, because it would just be higher. If he's check raising sets and combo draws, this number would be higher. So I eventually concluded it's just a set, and I folded. But I was discussing this hand in one of the Discord groups I'm in with Jusenberg, who will be known to many on Sky and other platforms, and he told me this actual stat is not all check raises. It's only when he was the last aggressor on the previous street. So imagine he raises blind versus blind from the small blind. He checks, I bet, then he raises. That's that PT4 considers that a check raise. Now, to me, a check raise is a check raise. I fucking check and I raise it to check raise. But in PT4 parlance, apparently it got introduced, and I've no reason to disbelieve him, because the man's a fucking nerd and he knows this shit. Apparently, this check raise stat here in PT4 is just when they have given up, or apparently given up the initiative as the aggressor on the previous street and then check raised. Whereas this raised C-bet represents this scenario. Now, had I known this was his numbers, this 17, I would not have folded my hand, because this allows him to have all the combo draws, whereas this doesn't. So I learned something new last night. This check raise stat apparently is only when they were the aggressor on the previous street, but then chose to check. So they've raised pre-flop, then check raise flop. Or maybe in this situation, maybe he'd C-bet the flop and then check the turn and then raised. So this stat here that I used apparently isn't the correct stat for this situation. I should have been using this stat. This stat would have led me to just be like, I'm going to call it off. This stat led me to make a really easy fold. As it turns out, my misunderstanding of my HUD did me a good turn here, because on this occasion he did have the set. But had I been aware of that strange way that the stats are calculated in Poker Tracker 4, had I been aware of that, I would not have folded this hand probably. I think I probably would have gone with it, because 17% raise here, it's just more than sets. So then we just can't fold top two in that scenario. So yeah, basically I made a mistake, but got away with it, because he just had what he was repping, and this guy had the other combo draw. We'd have been in pretty rough shape had we got all the money in. So there we go. That's the end of the hand review for this video. Quick look at results for the month. As you can see here, we've played 34,000 hands. We've won €500. We've raked €600 on this site, and I get around 12% rate back. So whatever that is, another €62. This was party. I get 25% rate back here, so that's another 30 odd euros. So we've got maybe $30 odd. So we've got maybe 100 to add to this. So we made 600 on the month in 34,000 hands. Can't complain win rate wise. That's a win rate of about 7 bigs in this, plus whatever the rate back is. So maybe like 9 bigs over the month. Something like that, maybe 8 bigs if we include rate back. I mean, you can't complain at that. I'm not very happy with it. My volume's been pathetic. I've only played 75 hours this month, which I can't imagine I have a month where I play less hours than that. We've talked about the reasons in previous videos: lethargy, apathy, other things going on, a little bit of live poker. Eisen, for example, last night I went out to play live. We've talked about all the previous reasons. It's not good enough though. I need to be getting more hours in than that. You know, at least 100 per month, at least 100, probably more, but at least 100. Next month, the plans and goals are hopefully just grind a little bit harder. Hopefully I've got this apathy and lethargy out of my system. And we're going to get some more grinding. But who knows? And next month might be the same, and me just whining about my frankly, poor work ethic. You know, 'cause that's what it's been this month. I've had a pretty poor work ethic. I mean, yeah, we've made some money, but I've had a really bad work ethic. It hasn't been good. Not proud of it, but it is what it is. So yeah, guess we'll see you again next week. I am on the lookout for cash dollars on GG Poker. If any of you have any and you want to sell them to me, I'm interested in buying them, because I wouldn't mind making like some second videos in the week of me playing just a little bit of Russian cash, just like, you know, like a little mini, not bankroll challenge, but whatever. Like just try and like spin up a small roll from a small amount of money on there, just as like a second video I can make every week. It's like some Russian cash live play videos. So I am on the lookout for any cash dollars on there. Naturally, because I don't know who you are, or if I do know who you are, I'm happy to send first. If you're a complete stranger to me, I'm afraid you'd need to send first. But you know, we're not talking big amounts, and obviously I would be like a safe bet for me to pay you. If you were to send me $20 because you had $20 cash, say you're a tournament player and you don't want the cash dollars, say you had 20 cash dollars. I'm not going to stiff you, because I'm just contactable everywhere. I'm contactable on Discord, I'm contactable on Twitter, contactable on YouTube, etc. I ain't going to trash my integrity for $20, but if I send money first, I'm obviously really open to being scammed by people. So yeah, I'm on the lookout for cash dollars on GD. If you have any and you don't want them, I will buy them off you. I'm only looking for up to about $100. So if you've got $20, then I'll take them. If you've got $10, I'll take them, or what have you. So yeah, I'm on the lookout for them too. But we're going to leave it there for now. Might be the last video of the week, might not be, who knows. But yeah, happy punting everybody. Take care, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye for now.